City is here to help me answer. I should probably say my name as well. I say your name a lot. Michael, come on, talk to me a little bit.
Yeah, come on, Tea Time, give yourself your own plug, you know? I mean, there's more than enough time for you to talk about it. I mean, you used it for the overtime segue, so I guess there's that as well.
It's true.
But yeah, a surprising win for Big when FaZe come into that with that being their map pick. Now we move into Nuke, which is territory that Big are more familiar with, but they seemed a little bit shaky on the last time they played. But I mean, even just talking about that first map, we highlighted the fact that Nico felt like he was being abused a little bit. He actually, when it came to the head-to-heads against every single player against Big, he was on the receiving end of just abuse, man. He lost out on every single head-to-head in terms of the numbers disparity between them. So Zantares, 4 and 8. Searson, 2 and 3. Tabson, 4 and 7. Tizian, 1 and 4. The only one that he was actually able to best out was Keto, 3 and 1. But that's not even that big of a discrepancy between the two. So that's a little bit concerning there for FaZe, because you look at Nico as being a consistent performer, one that can perform in big moments for the side. We saw some good individual aim from him in a crucial moment for FaZe, but it still wasn't enough. But now we move into Nuke, territory that Big will be looking to 2-0 the series in, where FaZe were doing the exact same thing to them just a week ago.
And we're into it. FaZe Clan to face out Big Clan. And let's see how it goes. Colzera with a smoke and a kit. Tabson's got a smoke and a flash for himself. Big already get this ball rolling. Tabson flashes to fly through soon enough, but Nico's waiting for the push to come in into Mini. Nico's expecting it, but Keto is able to get away. Zantares to find the kill initially. Rain will fall, and Nico will go with him. That ratio isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, solid set of opening kills there for Big. Cold under a whole lot of heat. In at ramp. Ooh, dicey duels. Tizian, that headshot angle certainly favoring him. And Tabson's cleared a path towards A. That's where Big will finish things up. Tizian's still on the lurk, though. Cold able to dispatch of them. They'll keep the high ground advantage. They'll keep a couple players on the rafters for the retake. It's not looking all that likely here for FaZe. Cold has the kit. Kjerby committed towards lobby, but only on 7 HP.
This will be so difficult. Big are
been setting up to save. That makes a whole lot of
I
sense.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I don't think there's actually enough teams who take advantage of this, especially teams who are very strong on the force buy. So for those teams, like an extra smoke and a nade can be the difference maker between, a round one or not. But disturbing signs to see Nico not able to get that kill into Keto initially. I know you mentioned it just now, so it does seem like a point I'm hammering home a bit too much. But the important thing to also consider is that in every single map, Nico is also the one who is likely to take the most duels against the most different players. On Mirage, he plays more towards, that connector window area. On Nuke, he plays outside. On Nuke, he can go inside Mini. On Nuke, he plays around, lonely box sometimes. So if you're not having a good game in that position, you're not going to have a good game at all. Oh, Nico does find one. Okay, fourth time's the charm, I suppose. Searson will also be tagged, so damage is dealt at the very least, and some of it does end up being lethal.
Yeah, they do make their way towards B. There's that early rotation available. See Coldzera taking up a Nook. He does actually make a step, so they should have his position fairly under lock. They're simply waiting it out, though.
Brokey forced out of his position because of the Molotov, and with this, FaZe Clan are trying to fight back, but attempts have been somewhat thwarted. Rain will connect with one shot at the very least. Seemed like Colzera was in prime position to do the same, but Bomb will go down. With this and the few flashbangs they have, maybe Big can keep a hold of this bomb site. There is no kit on the FaZe Clan side, despite having had money on it, on Kjerby for it, rather. They jump across, though, and that picked up Mac 10 will get them the initial kill. Kjerby's Nova, not very friendly for Zantares, as he walks in, picks up an AK afterwards, and Keto's position is known. He's been flashed up by his own flash, and although he lines him up, he can't get the kill. Kjerby left with 1 HP. Brokey with a scout save, 2 AKs as well taken forward. This is the perfect round from Faze Clan.
Yeah, that slow approach from Big doesn't quite work out. They had hoped to bide their time, catch Faze on those rotations as they clinged desperately for site control. But that kill from Nico, that's what really changed the pace there from Big. You could feel for Keto in that situation as well. The 1v3 where he's just getting spammed through the box. It's uncomfortable to look at. Not one that he'll have hoped to be put in a position of. And after losing the pistol and answering right back, exactly where Faze want to be.
Especially with the loss bonus with Big being now at the flat 1400. You're
Anything
not
that happened
happy.
to the CT side on Mirage as well.
Yes, exactly. So this is the perfect space to be, actually, if you are Faze Clan. Now, whether or not they can capitalize onto it, that's going to be a big question to ask. But hey, we'll have to wait to see. Wasn't Mirage a 0-3 initially? I swear it was a 0-3. Oh, you mean Big did that? Never mind. I understand.
Yeah.
Rain. Oh, Nico's found Taps and takes him down with that. Already another early advantage going their way. Nico getting some revenge for Mirage, but Brokey has been given some revenge for IEM, and one of those seems to be a little bit more impactful than the other.
Yeah, moving towards the lower site. We already see Cold Zero in a good position to deal with this. They're somewhat present of the fact. And Cold, he doesn't fully face. He doesn't fully expect them to take those fights. And Keto, that's a freebie.
Rain almost even lines it up for the wallbang, but Xantares, who's turned around, dodges anyone from decontamination. Surson's taken down Rain. If I'm not wrong, that was just a straight wallbang despite being flashed. Wallbang, flash, and a headshot. That is style point and a half. And speaking of style points, Xantares will pick up some. Kirby's down to 11 HP, wants to try and fight his way out of this, but instead he gets the hell out of there. And he says, you know what? We did this to Big. Why not let them do this to us as well? Guys, come on, it's only fair. And this is the exact same situation that you had in the second half, but now the tables have been flipped.
Yeah, difficult retake for him to win when he's on such low HP. So holding on to the rifle, the armor, the kit as well that Faze can work off of in this round. It all really started at this. I mean, Keto, that's a free kill on Cold because he's just not prepared for the fights. Solid effort from Kirby to make it close, but taking too much damage in those duels to make that feasible.
Some awkwardness for sure coming out, though, from Coldzera so far. Even earlier, I thought he would be able to find the kill with the Deagle when there was a player in front of him. So you start to wonder, is this a sign of things to come? Or is this just something he will shake off and shrug off? Outside play comes in. They've gone for garage control. Nico will be backing off. Big R. Oh, actually, this is the full outside control strategy where they'll smoke off garage and top credit card as well as locker room. They'll start to move in. This allows you to take much better duels, but Kirby's the one with the AK, and he's coming in. Can't save the day, though. Rain, 1 versus 4, sees he at the ready, and I love the decision for Big to go for that particular set of outside control smokes, so Michael, because it's just incredibly useful to be able to take those duels against pistols. Otherwise, what ends up happening is if you go for any other wall of smokes, pistols actually have a very good chance of just pushing through the smokes and killing you, or using those smokes to get into a closer range position for when they're dissipating. It's very awkward to play against pistols in that situation.
Yeah, we know Big likes to run a few different variations of the outside take. You'll see deeper smokes so that they can take more main control, even cross garage. They've got all of that within their arsenal, so seeing those variations slightly earlier than I would have anticipated, but a solid round. And now Faze get the AWP into Brokey's hands. I think this is where they'll feel the most comfortable. If they can get him online, of course, he started off Mirage very hot-handed.
Oh, had an opportunity, but can't quite land it. This time over, Miko's actually headed over to Secret, which is the only time you... Well, not the only time. Sometimes they'll both go outside, but it's very rare that actually Brokey will play from outside that aggressively in a garage if Nico's also nearby, which could be a bit of a tell. Rain, though, Tag damage comes in. Keto around the corner as well. They do realize that there is a player potentially inside Mini. So when Keto clears out all these angles, he has to be careful. Broki's holding, but Xantares has found Nico. And we're expecting it, and he was watching for it. Nico's still able to get one, though.
They missed the timing on Keto, so he's wrapping all the way around. He could flank out the ramp players before Big even commit into the site. This is big. This is very worrying now for FaZe. Keto's position could find entries towards the A or the B bomb site now.
This is worrying. Keto and Tabson both frag in simultaneously. And Big already off to a very hot start. And if I'm not wrong, FaZe Clan don't have much of a choice other than saving. Big, however, are on the hunt. You see Xantares playing around the angles. They've got plenty of money. They know they can afford to lose pretty much every single player if they have to. Even taking one gun away would probably be worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, and it feels like FaZe are getting backed into corners in these rounds. Arguments to be made to save in each of them. Definitely hoping to hold on to these for the follow-up. Broky may have secured an exit. Of course, that gives information up to Big, who have some money to spare, so they can get these out of their hands. They're willing to take that risk.
Xantares has mollies. That's actually
yeah, but
quite
he's low
dangerous.
HP, so he doesn't want to go down with the bomb, I think is the problem.
If he thrown a nade over both Broky and, well, maybe not Broky, but coldzera definitely dies with the bomb. So far, though, Big looking very good going into Nuke. Not the same performance from FaZe that we saw in IEM New York European Edition, which always sounds weird to me. However, now we have to see whether or not Cold and Broky can maybe just squeeze something together, you know? Fast-paced play for the Vents. In goes Tizian. He has found all the room in the world. Nico's been mollied out as well, so he can't really go in pursuit. Broky has to be so much more careful, but he does have one of the save weapons, so maybe they can find something and pick up a gun, and as I say that, Tizian will connect with Nico.
Yeah, very limiting factor in the round here for Broky because of that early pressure. You could see he had to commit down the ramp. He forces a different player to take up that post. The objective remains the same. See if they can hold on to these rifles. If they can accommodate for the pistols, create some sort of supplementary space for them to get kills, maybe get hands on rifles themselves, that would be fine, but not looking to win this round, that is for sure. Big have so much control towards that lower side. Xantares is going to find one outside. Spots the head. Ooh, crisp little tap there from Xantares. That is clean. And Big, no problem whatsoever dispatching of the pistols. coldzera and Broky to nestle in a corner to save.
Okay, you know what they say, cleanliness is a virtue, and Big are a very virtuous team right now. All 5 players kept alive. 1 tap's coming in as well. This is looking like a tough sell for FaZe Clan early on, especially when you consider this is their CT side. And you have to start to wonder